In my culture in China, women never pay for anything,
Yeah.
really. And even when I go out with male friends, they would pay for the taxi driver for me to go home.
Yeah, tell me what the dating etiquette is like that people should know about.
This could be controversial,
It's okay.
but
We love controversial.
when it comes to etiquette rules, it's actually bad etiquette for a gentleman to ask a lady to think about the first date details. There are many things that one should do on a first date, right? They should even order the food for you as well.
Using etiquette, how can you be more feminine?
You want me to publicly criticize you?
You're so lucky. I was just about to leave.
He doesn't know how to drive.
Yeah. A man that is a fixer, that can build anything, is sexy for me. Should men also pull the chair out for the women?
Yeah, see, that's what etiquette will give you power, right? So.
I've got a question for you. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Cilia Li Show. It's your girl Cilia here. So you know that I'm all about helping you becoming the best version of yourself. So today I invited an etiquette coach to come on this show. So welcome, C. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Celia. I'm so honored to be here today.
You know what? I'm so excited for you to come on. I remember when we first met.
Yeah.
When you told me you're etiquette coach, I was like, oh my God. Like, I don't know what it is exactly, but I kind of know gist. But I was like, I need you to come on because women need. I believe a lot of women would love to have this because it helps them build confidence, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, whenever someone know that I'm an etiquette coach, immediately they start to stand straighter and they're asking me, am I doing something wrong? Can you tell me what I've done wrong?
I mean, you're sitting very straight as well. I'm just like, it's like, but before we go on, you know what? Before we start talking, introduce yourself. Like where you from and why did you become an etiquette coach?
Yeah, I think the simple reason behind that is that I really want to make a difference to the world. And as I dive into the world of personal growth and what is the purpose of life, the more I realize that the purpose of life is not just about how much money you make, what kind of house you live in, how much money you have in the bank. It's more about what am I bringing to the world. So I worked in banking industry for over 10 years and I really love the company and everything, but I just feel like I wanted to bring my impact to more people in the world, so I need to teach something. There are many things I could teach, but I think etiquette is one thing that really changed my life. Believe it or not, I used to be really, really not confident at all.
I believe that, because me too.
Yeah, so I used to, obviously, I grew up in China and my parents sent me to study in the UK when I was a teenager. And I had no idea how to carry myself in a British restaurant, how to eat scones and how to make small talk with British people. And I really learned my lessons the hard way. And I started learning about etiquette and everything and personal growth and communication skills and personal branding. And I realized life has so much more to offer and I became a different person. And I want to share that with the world.
When you first came to the UK, what city did you come to? London?
No, I love to study, obviously. I did 3 degrees in the UK. So, so I went to Lancaster for my undergraduate in finance and I did 2 master's degree because there's one what I wanted to do, there's one my parents want me to do, so I did both.
Wow.
So even after studying for 5 years in the UK, I got a job offer from one of the world's largest bank as a graduate trainee. And I can tell you, I really, really get scared whenever I receive a phone call at my desk because I had no idea how to speak to a client in the proper way or how to chair a meeting and how to speak so polished in such a polished way. And I had to really learn things the hard way. And I think about those days, I just could not believe how much further I have become.
Okay, so you mentioned about eating the scones.
Yeah.
When the first time you ever had it, how did you eat it? Did you think, what the hell is this? Like, do I eat it like a biscuit or do you...
Well, I had no idea. Okay. Now I don't even have any recollection of how I actually eat a scone because it was never a thing in my mind. I probably just eat it like a sandwich, put the jam in between, and I can't even imagine that. And now I teach people and they're just like, oh my God, I never knew this. And a lot of people think, oh, that's just pretentious. That's just posh people eating in a fancy restaurant. But that couldn't be further from the truth because etiquette at its core is about confidence. If I know how to carry myself in any sort of business, social situation, then that level of confidence can take you a really, really long way.
So how do you eat a scone? I don't think I'm eating the right way because you said you used to eat it like a sandwich. So sometimes, obviously I wouldn't eat a sandwich because it's too big to put in your mouth.
Yeah.
I break it in half, put a jam and a clotted cream and then have it like this. How do you eat it?
Yeah, I think that's about right. Yeah.
Like in half, basically.
Yeah. So the thing with scone, just
Yeah.
like any other sort of bread,
Yeah.
you break it by hand. So many people will
Okay.
cut it by a knife, and that's a big no-no. So you don't cut a bread with a knife. That is a very important etiquette point most people don't know about.
Wait. Okay, that's new to me because that's what I do. Because I was thinking, because if I use my hands,
Yeah.
to be honest, yeah, I've always done a knife because in my head is the logic is I will make a mess. So if I use a knife to cut it, it will be tidier.
No, unfortunately not.
So how do you?
So the knife there is just to spread the
Okay.
jam and
not that
the
it's gone
clotted
often,
cream.
but
Yeah.
like if I do it, for me it would just be like kind of okay. But you said you wouldn't cut a bread with knife.
No, you should never. No.
Wait, when you say bread, do you mean just like the roll? You mean?
Yeah. So let's say
small rolls, not like the whole loaf. You break it with hand.
Well, that is not something you do on a dining table, do you? You kind of have to prepare that before. But you know, some people they would cut the bread. If you serve like a bread basket and some butter, they will cut the bread with a knife, and that's not the right thing to do. Yeah.
I guess when you have rolls, you still cut it up. Okay.
So the idea of breaking the bread is you break it by hand. So yeah.
Oh yeah, the Bible says to break the. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
How did you know there was this thing that this exists? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would never heard of this etiquette coach.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So like I mentioned, moving from China to UK was a big step. That's like a very steep learning curve for me. And in China, my hometown is called Shandong province. It's the hometown of the Confucius, the famous philosopher. So we have very, very strong etiquette rules at home. So if I'm going out with a family for a family lunch, I can't just sit anywhere. There is a seating plan for a family meal of 4 people in my family. That's how far we go. And you're not supposed to eat before, let's say, elders. The most senior person around the table start eating. So all of these things I started learning from a very young age. And then, of course, the British side as well. And I obviously lived in the Middle East. I still go there a lot. So that's like all the different contrasts of culture. And there's so much one could learn about it. And I just thought, this is so fun. And not many people are doing it. So why do I not give it a try? And here's the thing, right? Many people can teach you about etiquette. It's actually not difficult to tell you all the etiquette rules.
Can I just...
Of course.
What exactly is etiquette?
Yeah. So you can find the dictionary answers about what etiquette really is. They will say it's a set of rules, a set of things that people follow for a civilized society. But etiquette at its core, for me, is about 2 things. Number 1 is about confidence. Right? Like I mentioned, if you know exactly what to do at any situation with people from any part of the world at any time, that will take you very far. And secondly, no matter what you do, you're always dealing with people. And people always like people who have good etiquette. And another thing I like to think that a lot of people think etiquette is restrictive, right? So there's a set of rules. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do that. But actually, I think it's very empowering because knowing etiquette means that I can just conquer any situation that I put myself into.
Because on your Instagram, I saw all sorts of etiquette. There's dating etiquette, there's dining etiquette, there's gym etiquette, there's... What else is there?
Business etiquette, social
everything,
etiquette,
basically.
Cultural etiquette, anything.
And how to eat a Chinese hot pot.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, etiquette is basically a way of doing something.
Yeah. So let's say, Celia, if I ask you to have a meeting with a potential business partner from, let's say, Kenya, you can do that. You know what to say. You know what kind of conversations to have. You know what they're like. You know what kind of gestures is rude. And if you go to, let's say, South Korea for something else, then you know what to do. And then tomorrow you'll be invited to, let's say, Buckingham Palace for a 3-course lunch, and you know exactly what to do, how to curtsy, how to eat, how to make small talk, how to dress. That level of confidence is very, very good to have.
So did you have an etiquette coach yourself?
Yes, well, I actually went all in with my training.
Okay.
Because as soon as I decided to become an etiquette coach, I just made my research. I wanted to see what would be the best qualifications to get. And then the most prestigious, let's say, qualification in the world is at finishing school.
What school?
a finishing school. Have you ever heard of that?
Finishing school.
Okay, so this is quite a ancient thing to many people. So finishing school traditionally are where royal families would send their daughters to learn how to be a princess, how to be a good wife. So that is the stereotype the world.
They have this?
They do, yeah. Like Princess Diana, like all of those people, they have
royals,
been to,
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, they have. And unfortunately, in the modern times, most of the finishing schools in the world have closed down. There's only one finishing school left in the world, and that's in Switzerland, called Institut Villa Pietfort. And it's a summer intensive diploma in etiquette. It is the place to go. And I went there and did my diploma, and the rest is history.
How long was the
It's
course?
the whole summer.
Whole
So
summer, okay.
yeah.
So before that diploma,
Yeah.
you were this insecure, maybe lacking confidence version.
I'd say I was already kind of on my journey,
Okay.
But that was the kind of the important step for me to take in order to become an etiquette coach. Because if I just put myself out there, because I always had a big brand behind my name when I was working for the bank, but without that, I had no idea how to position myself as an etiquette coach if I don't have a proper qualification. So I went there, and of course I kept learning from all the world's best experts. So William Hanson from the UK is one of the world's most famous etiquette coaches, and I'm very honored to learn from him. And Jo Bryant, another lady who wrote so many Debrett's books, and I read all the etiquette books out there, every single one under the sun. So if you ask me anything about etiquette, I know pretty much all the answers to it.
So when all those books, no, let's say the course,
Yeah.
the etiquette teaches is everything in life, or what?
Yeah, so it's actually really interesting if you dive into it. A lot of people think it's just about, okay, how do I set a table and how do I eat a multi-course meal in the most formal way, but it's actually far more than that. So we did things like business protocol, and we did cultures around the world. So we learned cultures about over 50 countries, what kind of things you should say, you should not say, what they like, what they don't like. So, and deportment classes. So we learned how to, walk, sit, how to descend the stairs, how to enter a room, and effective communications as well. So how do you communicate? How do you influence people? Public speaking. And even flower arrangement. You will learn how to fold napkin and how to iron the table linen and set the most perfect table, French way, English way. It's so intensive, but it's like one of the best weeks I ever had. It
actually sounds quite fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Of course, absolutely.
It doesn't sound pretentious. It sounds fun. Like
Yeah.
you're learning a lot about culture as well.
Yeah, very much. And the beauty of that is it's a kind of a small-ish group of ladies, but people are from all over the world, so we learn from each other as well, which is amazing.
So it's for women only?
Yeah, women only, of a
Okay.
certain age range as
Okay.
well. So it's very finishing school. It's men can now go to the finishing school, but only for a specific course, which is like European Art of Dining. It's called for 1 week or so. Yeah.
What is the most common etiquette mistake that you see?
The truth is there are so many.
Yeah, let's talk about me now. It's all right. I can handle the truth. Tell me.
If I have to pick one thing out of modern days that most people make, it's about the phones.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
agree.
people would take out their phones, check their messages, or even keeping your phone on the table during a meeting is actually disrespectful.
I agree. When I'm out with my friends, or even I'm on a date, my phone is with my family. My phone is always in my bag.
Very good.
And actually, you know what? That's something I pay attention to. Actually, if I'm on a date with someone, if I'm dating that person, and if their phone's not on the table and they don't, that's a green flag for me.
Of course.
Right? If it's on the table, okay, I'd be like, okay, let's watch out for that. And if they check in the messages, I'm just like, oh, like it's not a deal breaker, but for me, it's like, oh, you're one of them ones like that.
Yeah.
But if they don't check their phone the whole time when we're together, then that's a massive green flag for me. Because I value that. Because I think, especially if you go out with someone, you're supposed to bond and communicate, right?
Yeah.
And let's say if you're with your friends, you see a lot of people when they meet up for dinner, both of them are like this. They're not even communicating anymore.
Yeah.
Same with family. So like, you know what? When I go out for dinner or lunch with my family, I'm like the mum.
Yeah.
I'll say if my dad or my mum or my brother has the phone out, I'll be like, "What are you doing? Put your phone away."
Yeah.
Because it's family time. We're supposed to be bonding like that. And I was like, okay, like that. And my dad's like, "Oh, it's really quick. I was like, no. This is not important. Put your phone away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because exactly like you said, if I'm with you physically, but I'm checking my phone, what am I basically suggesting?
Yeah.
My notifications, my Instagram feeds is more important than you.
Yeah.
And that's not very respectful.
I'm checking my notes.
No, I
yeah.
understand. and I always tell people, if you do have something urgent, let's say if you have a young baby at home, you say, oh, if that's okay with you, I will keep my phone here to check the messages. You tell them. Of course, people will understand it. But if you just keep checking, okay, oh, someone liked my photo. Oh, okay, like I post another video.
You're not present.
No.
Yeah.
And that's actually quite dangerous because we look around like the tube or the airplane, like everyone's on the phone all the time.
Yeah.
Like we're so addicted to it. It's a mental health issue as well.
Oh, 100%. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I do catch myself because I'm conscious about it. I do try to like sometimes not be on my phone and just basically people watching, right? Yeah. But sometimes when I'm in a queue, I do catch myself just go on my phone, just open it up like this, and then close my phone, or just check my email for no reason, even though I just checked it 5 seconds ago. Like, then I was like, oh God, Celia, like, come on, like now, just control
yourself.
yourself.
You're not alone. This is like it's a big etiquette faux pas many people have.
Oh, something about me.
Something about you.
Yeah.
You want me to publicly criticize you?
I don't mind. I can handle the truth, you know. I'm an open book. On my podcast, people who follow me, they know I literally tell them my stories, everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing, right? Although I'm an etiquette coach, it's actually bad etiquette to correct someone.
Oh.
Etiquette. Unless
coach
they
me.
ask
Okay,
me to.
coach me. Okay, coach me then.
I think you're okay. I can't see anything major. I will let you know.
Are you just saying it because you're on the camera?
I don't feel comfortable correcting people because people are like, oh, tell me what I've done wrong.
Okay,
like,
what can I improve on? Let's say that. Yeah.
What can you improve?
What can I improve on?
It's not for me to say. You're
but
good.
Coach, imagine you're my coach right now. Okay, I need to.
If I have to pick one thing, like you force me to, right?
Okay, yeah.
And you don't have to, of course.
Yeah. I'm just curious. I want to know. Yeah.
I would say it's maybe just my personal preference.
Yeah, it's okay. Just say it.
I always tell people to kind of dress as good as possible, no matter where you go.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, right? Good clothes open doors.
Yeah.
Because when you wear nice clothes, people would see you differently. It's not because people are superficial. We're all wired to make a judgment about someone within a few seconds. And that could be the thing you wear, your body language, how you look. So you want to always present the best version of yourself in every situation because you just never know what doors are potentially open out there for you, right? Yeah. So I personally like to not overdress, but kind of, I don't really dress casually that much, but it's a personal choice, right? It's a personal preference, so it's not really a correction.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, because what if it's your style? Do you know what I mean? Because my style is quite urban.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's sort of like reflecting. But I'm saying, but I get it.
Yeah.
But it all depends where I'm going as well. Obviously, I wouldn't be going like this everywhere I go. Obviously, so but because I'm here.
Like I mentioned, it's just a personal choice, right? Because I think that maybe also as an etiquette coach, I kind of. This is just who I am.
Yeah.
I dress like this when I go for coffee with my friend. It's not because I'm doing a show, right? But obviously, I do feel like when you dress differently, people would treat you differently.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I agree with that. 100%. Because let's just say a simple thing. Like, some people might think this is quite sexist now. But anyway, when, like, as a woman anyway, like when we wear dresses, for example, men do treat us differently.
Yeah, bet. I rarely wear trousers actually. So.
Oh really? Okay. So, but I like wearing jeans, my skinny jeans, high waist jeans, and that. But when I wear dress, for example, like men would sort of like be more gentle with you. Yeah. 100%. But I know I'm talking about like sort of men and women. But I know. But 100% I agree.
Yeah. I mean, as a woman, you want to exude, femininity, right? And men can't wear dresses in general, right? Some of them can, of course, but. It's a privilege, so why not?
But also talking about that femininity, like wearing dresses, exuding that femininity.
Yeah.
I also say, but obviously this is an etiquette, but I always say wearing dresses that's a physical way of making yourself look
Yeah.
feminine, right?
Yeah.
But femininity also
Yeah.
is an energy that is
Of course.
just you. So,
Yeah.
well, basically, what I'm trying to say is like, even though I'm dressing like this, I know for a fact I have a lot of feminine trait
Yeah.
and feminine energy. I'm most of the time I'm in my feminine energy.
And of course, we dived a lot into that in Danny's event. That's how we met, right?
Yeah. How can you be more? Well, you cannot answer that actually. I was gonna say, how can you be more confident? So,
Of course, I can answer that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we should talk about that.
yeah, talk about
Yeah, that's something I talk about a lot. So
Mm.
I think it's a huge topic, right? I can talk about how to be more confident for like weeks without running out of content. But if I have to pick a few things, I think one of the most important about confidence, a lot of people feel like, okay, once I have that house, I'll be confident. Once I have that body, I'll be confident. Once I have this girl, I'll be confident. But the reality, it really is, once you make some sort of progress, once you make some actions, that actually gives you confidence. So we can all have big goals. Losers and success people have the same goals, right? But what's the difference? The people who actually succeed, they take actions. So sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm so far away from where I want to get. But then start from your first step. And as soon as you take those actions, I assure you, you'll feel so much more confident. And the more you build on that, the more momentum you create, the more confident you become. And I was actually at the Life and Business speaking tour of Steve Butler. He talked about this concept I absolutely loved. He said a lot of time we lose confidence because we don't keep our own promises to ourselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes we say, okay, I'm going to be in the gym tomorrow, and we don't. On the surface, nothing happens because no one would come and say, oh, why do you not go to the gym? But the reality is the more you do these things, the more that you don't do what you tell yourself to do, the more confidence that you will lose.
You basically self-trust.
Absolutely. And you can see a lot of people who suffer from depression or they just don't want to do anything. They're probably just, they've done that so many times, they don't do what they tell themselves to do, then over time that just becomes something really bad. Because if I tell you I'm going to meet you Friday, let's say 7 p.m, I'm going to be there. But if I tell myself I'm going to do this thing and I don't, then no one would tell me. But then over time, it really is very bad for you. And another thing I think is really important is what you say to yourself.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of people, they will be so kind to others, but when it comes to themselves, they say, oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, I'm just a loser.
Negative self-talk.
Yeah, I'm so far behind. And I want you people to just imagine if there's like a 4-year-old kid in front of you, would you say all these things that you say to yourself to this little kid? You absolutely would not, right? And if you do, imagine how much damage that would cause. So you want to be careful about that.
So my followers know this, that I say the confidence, I believe internal confidence comes from also self-love, developing self-love. And what you said about the children bit was that with self-love is treat yourself like a baby. Because when you're with a baby, a toddler, you basically treat them with patience, compassion. You don't judge them. You always be kind to them, so you're gentle with them. So that's how you should treat yourself, like a baby, basically. And also, reason why I say self-love is the foundation to confidence, because when you love yourself, you are basically you're getting to know yourself, you're building a relationship with yourself. So that relationship is basically you getting to know what you want and what you don't want, what you will tolerate, what boundaries you have, and also you're self-aware, building that self-awareness, and you're accepting who you are, so accepting your past, your flaws. And once you accept all these past, your so-called mistakes or flaws, people can't say shit to you, because it's like, I already know this about myself. Like, tell me something that I don't know about myself. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying, like, when you have self-acceptance and self-awareness, that's where confidence naturally will come up. And also, when you've accepted yourself, you will have the confidence, the courage to be your authentic self, unapologetically do you. You don't care what people think about you, so you're just going to show up with your confidence because you don't care what people think about you. And that's all from building this relationship with yourself.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more, because I used to be that person when I was quite young, actually. Whenever someone says something bad about me, I would just not be able to get over it. I could lose my sleep. I'm very sensitive to what other people think about me, which is the reason why actually I would have started posting content 2 years before when I did. Because I was holding back myself because I'm worried about what people would say. But the reality is, like you said, if you have that strong self-belief of who you are, then what other people say, you become immune to. Because imagine me putting myself out there. Do you know how many hater comments that I get, like on TikTok, Instagram? Some of them just, it's crazy bad. And at first, when I started receiving those, I really it took me a while to adjust to it. But now I just think, I feel sorry for you. Like, and what you say does not determine who I am, because I know who I am.
Yeah. I want to talk about Chinese culture.
Yeah, of
So
course.
obviously I'm Chinese as well,
Yeah.
but I grew up here.
Yeah.
And I know Chinese people, they're very authoritarian.
Yeah.
They're very... Basically, etiquette is important, obviously.
Yeah.
So, for example, but you described earlier about how you have a seating plan.
Of course, yeah.
So, I believe that your family have high expectations for you. So did mine. But I think you're probably more. So, but you changing your career, how was that for them?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think ultimately, my parents want me to be happy.
Oh, that's nice.
Which is really sweet. But at the same time, they just cannot understand what etiquette coach is.
Oh, trust me, even my parents are like that.
Right? And they're people who always lived in China.
Yeah.
And imagine if people in the Western world, a lot of them don't resonate, let alone people who never left China. But what they do know is that they want me to be happy. And they have that trust in me. So what I discuss with them is the following, right? So I did everything they asked me to do, right? I went to the UK to study. I did finance. I did 2 master's degree. And I went to banking because my mom was a banker and so is my grandma. So they want me to follow their suit. And I did for over 10 years. Is it okay, if you don't mind, for me to actually
Do what you want,
take some decision for myself?
Yeah.
And from that perspective, they're happy for me, and they seeing me, getting some good following, good clients, and putting myself out there, and they're happy for me. So I'm hoping that they would not regret the decision of letting me leave banking.
So let me ask you this, okay? Because you did a lot for them, right?
Yeah.
If they had not told you what to do, what would you do?
Yeah.
Or study?
Again,
would you go to uni? Would you come to the UK? And
I know exactly what I would do. Okay. I would become a TV presenter.
You have that.
Oh, thank you. And that's actually one of the reasons why I kind of left banking, because within the bank, I was super lucky. I was chosen to interview the group CEO. Out of 200,000 employees, they chose me and another person to fly to Hong Kong to be the TV presenter for a huge conference. And everyone was like, they thought they hired someone. And then after that, I just became that kind of go-to person in the bank to moderate panel discussions and TV presenting. I appeared on the commercials. So this was my childhood dream. And I would have gone to maybe go for a journalism degree and be a TV presenter somewhere.
Does your parents know about that?
They probably did, but they never really took it seriously. Because
so you did tell them about this?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
yeah.
I mean, to be honest, a lot of Chinese parents, they when they hear something to do with media or entertainment, they're like, what kind of job is that? Like,
exactly. Yeah. And to be fair, I do think that I'm very grateful for the time I spent in banking, and to be quite frank, without that, I won't be able to share what I know, what I've learned with my clients at this point, right? So I think everything happens for kind of a reason.
Yeah,
so.
and also I guess it's helped you learn about the corporate world, right?
Yeah, of course.
And also get your name. You said you built a name for yourself.
Yeah.
So,
that actually becomes my strongest point, because I can speak my client's language, and a lot of etiquette coach, they probably that's probably their only job. They've not really worked in corporate environment, and I'm very blessed with a lot of corporate experience, so I have the best of both worlds.
Okay, so talk about femininity.
Yeah.
Using etiquette, how can you be more feminine?
Again, it's a huge topic, but if I have to share a thing or two, and I think that it's probably more of a subject on spirituality when it comes to your mindset as well. But I think when it translates to our kind of day-to-day actions, as feminine, as a female, we want to be in the receiving end more than sort of providing, right? And I think that's just how nature has designed us. So that's why I think a lot of girls, they'll be like, I'm a feminist. I would always go for half and half when I go out on a date with a man. But that's not receiving, is it?
Exactly.
Right? So this could be controversial.
That's okay.
But
we love controversial here.
not hugely controversial, because one of the most frequently asked questions that I have is, who should pay on a first date, right?
Who should pay on the first date?
I get asked this all the time. And if you look at the answers from etiquette expert from the world, a lot of people would say that in theory, whoever initiates the invite should pay. Okay. And let's say if a gentleman invited a lady to go for a first date, the gentleman should pay. The lady should at least offer. So that's what a lot of etiquette experts think. I personally believe that as a first date, as a lady, we should not pay.
I agree. Same. Yeah. Why? What's your reason?
I think in terms of the dynamics of femininity and masculinity, femininity is about receiving, right? So if you're not even letting the guy to pay for the food, how can you trust him to hold a space in the future when you build a family together, right? When you go through pregnancy of 10 months, when you kind of go through menopause or breastfeeding, whatever, right? They don't go through this. And if you can't, we're not really built the same.
Yeah.
We're really not.
Exactly. So my reason, I think the man should pay on the first date, especially if they ask me.
Yeah.
Also because I want to know that they can take care of things. They're showing their masculine energies, basically. You know, they're able to take control and things like that, and taking care of things. So that's why I want to see that they're able to do that.
Yeah.
And because culturally, I grew up seeing basically my dad taking care of everything. Really,
absolutely.
Yeah, and because I embraced the polarity as well, masculine and feminine energy. And
I think culture is a very important aspect here as well, right? So in my culture in China, women never pay for anything, really. And even when I go out with male friends, they would pay for the taxi driver for me to go home.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? If I get that from everyone that I'm surrounded with, what I'm used to, then why am I paying for a man?
Exactly.
In the UK.
Yes, exactly. That's why I always explain to people. I grew up seeing my dad, whenever we go out, even not in a restaurant, could be in a shop, just getting something small thing. My dad will be the one getting his wallet out.
Oh, of course.
And same, he would pay for his friends, female friends. So like the dinner, if you have a female friend there, if he has a female friend with us, he'd be like, no, don't worry, blah blah. Like basically, that's what I'm used to. That is the norm to me. It's not even about what today's society, you know, the argument about why should men be the provider? That's like it's just what I'm used to. It's normal to me. And like you said, that's what we are designed to do. Men are the provider, women are the receivers.
And I can't remember the name of the author, but he wrote, I think the book is called Think Like a Man, Act Like a Lady or something. His name is Steve something.
Oh, yeah, Steve Harvey.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So he has a famous saying. He said, if a man can't even pay for your food, how can you trust him to look after your family in the future?
For that, like, I agree. But also for that, like, if the man really likes you, fellas, at least, you know, because take control and organize the date, right? Yeah. But pick somewhere that you can afford within your budget. We're not saying you have to be like millionaire, earning six figures, but if you're gonna ask a woman on a date, take the lead and organize that date, and then find someone that's within your budget, right? And I always say this, ladies. Another thing is, if a man asks you on a date and you accept, and some of them may ask you, where do you want to go? Do not tell him where you want to go. I say to them, you know what, I'll leave it with you. I'll let you organize it. Let me know the details. But if you're maybe a fussy eater or you have some allergy, then obviously let them know you have allergies, because we don't want anything bad to happen to you. But also what you can do is tell them maybe like, I do like Italian food and stuff like that. So give them something to work with, and then they can go organize it. Because again, you want to be in your feminine energy. Let them take the lead and organize it.
And did you know that when it comes to etiquette rules, it's actually bad etiquette for a gentleman to ask a lady to think about the first date details?
We women, we just want to be like, you know what? I just want to show up pretty. Tell me where to go.
Yeah, they should, be taking the lead as a man.
Exactly.
But we can't reverse the femininity
Yeah.
and masculinity polarity.
Yeah. I don't mind it if they ask me, oh, does 7 p.m. works with like sort of like coordinate the time, because that obviously that makes sense. But just
That is quite a deal breaker.
Yeah.
If a man say, okay, well, let's just meet, let's say in Covent Garden, and we'll decide where to go. No, just don't go.
Oh, and this is actually really random. It's not really related to the dinner, but if a man, okay, it's like you get, but are you single?
Yes.
Okay. If you meet a man, right, and obviously you're interested, he wants to get to know you, and he doesn't know how to drive, is that a deal breaker?
He doesn't know how to drive.
Yeah.
What a random question.
I know. It just came to mind. Do you know what? Because I met someone a few weeks ago, but we're not talking anymore. But just someone who's interested, and he was really nice. Like he was, ticking some of the boxes. But then when he told me that he doesn't drive, I was like, I don't mind you not having a car.
Yeah.
But the fact you don't know how to drive, you're in your 40s and you never actually want to learn to drive.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. For me, it's just like,
I would want to know the reasons behind it. Is it because he never wanted to own a car, and
he just didn't? I feel maybe he didn't feel the need of it, and he just could never pass it. It's just
straight. If you just ask me, is it a deal breaker? I would say no. I want to see what else is out there, and I want to understand the reasons.
Yeah.
But if it's purely because I don't think I ever be able to afford a car, then no.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, but if you got a driving license but you just haven't got a car, then that's different.
Fine.
But for me, I think what it is. I think okay, maybe it's shallow with me, but I associate you with them being how manly they are. Do you know what it is? I like a man that's a fixer. So if you can drive, most likely you know about the oil changing the oil, all this mechanic stuff. Because again, I grew up seeing my dad.
Yeah.
Helping with my oil, telling me about the brakes, fixing everything in the house. A man that is a fixer, that can build anything, is sexy for me.
Or maybe the man who does not need to learn how to drive because he can't afford a driver. That is something I can accept.
Okay, fair enough. Let's talk about dating etiquette since we're on that. Okay,
of course.
What are... Yeah, tell me what the dating etiquette is like that people should know about.
So many. I can't write a book about it, but...
Let's give 5, top 5.
Top 5? Okay, that's a lot. Okay. Actually, for ladies, okay. So one of the first things I would think is that don't wear anything too revealing.
Okay.
Because you're basically giving out too much. You're sending the wrong signal, potentially, right? Mm-hmm. So if you wear something really revealing and the guy probably think, oh, you're suggesting something. Mm-hmm. And then as a very traditional lady who went to a finishing school like myself, that's not a signal I want to send on the first day. So I would say wear something more reserved. Of course, you can wear a dress and things like that, but cover yourself a bit more.
Respectful. So
secondly, I would say don't order any foods that could potentially make you look quite messy when you eat. So like big
no chicken wings.
Maybe. Yeah, absolutely not. So no chicken wings, of course.
What if you eat the chicken wings with knife and fork?
Not really. Chicken wings is a casual food.
Oh, okay.
Really. And then you don't want to do that like on a first date. You could technically use a knife and fork, but no, it's much better to go for a salmon or steak. Okay. And things that could like make you stain your teeth. So for example, black ink pasta or even spaghetti, because it's quite difficult to make eating spaghetti look elegant.
Yeah.
Right? So you end up slurping a little bit, or maybe the red sauce will splatter. You just don't want to do that. And you don't want to get lobsters or like things with a lot of shells. Yeah. So go for something very safe. And I go extra mile. I wouldn't even order things like spinach or something, because it's quite easy to stuck on the teeth. Really is.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
Well, when it comes to important business meetings, I'm very, very careful. I don't even order things like red wine, because what if it stains my mouth? Or like spinach, or even sweet corn, or a Middle East salad called tabbouleh, which is like a small parsley leaves, things like that. You want to be really careful about it.
Okay.
For me, if I know I have a day, not even a day, if I have a meeting the second, I wouldn't even eat garlic the day before.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Give me number 3.
Okay. So I would say, so when it comes to kind of the bill payment side, you want to be sort of I know some girls, they're just not comfortable with men paying for anything.
I don't get it.
No, I just can't. They're like, oh, I have to offer. Like, I force it. No, we have to do it. Let's do half.
Yeah.
And they feel like they're proving a point. I can afford it. But it's not about that. We can
Yeah.
all afford it if we want to.
Yeah.
But if you want to be in your feminine energy, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Right?
So then, okay. So I get asked this. My clients ask me this as well.
Yeah.
I want to see what you say. So when the bill comes, right?
Yeah.
What should a woman do? Should she just sit there, or should she like get her mirror out? Should she go to a toilet? Should she ask, do you want me to pay half, or what should she do?
Of course,
because it's awkward. I think for some people it's awkward because there are some men out there, you know. So for example, I said this before. Sometimes, actually, majority of the time, guys that I've been on date with, I just know they've got it. Because I tend to attract masculine men, so I know they will take care of it. I don't even need to. I don't feel awkward about like just sitting there.
Yeah.
But I know there are women out there who sometimes they will say to me, "But I don't know. It's awkward. I don't know if."
Yeah.
So what?
I understand that.
Yeah.
So I think, obviously, even if you know someone else is paying, even if someone, let's say a friend who said, I'm taking out for lunch, right? This is my treat. You know you're not going to pay. But when the bill comes, you still don't want to be on your phone because you're like, oh, I don't care. Like, you pay for me. That's very disrespectful. So you want to be looking at them and then just, watch the whole process. And after they've done that, very politely say, thank you so much. That was wonderful.
Yes. Absolutely. So ladies, and I think like how you can like inspire your man or the guy you're dating to do more is show appreciation. It's like show appreciation. It's actually say thank you. So for example, compliment them. So for example, like after they pay the bill, be like, oh, it was lovely. Like, you have really good taste. I really enjoyed the food. Like, thank you for organizing this. Things like that.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, and I guess another topic which I can go for a long time, but I want to just give some sort of summary, is about conversation topics for the first date.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, many people would be like, oh, when did you break up? Like, how many girls have you dated? And like, how much money you make? And what is that shoes? Like, where is it from? You don't want to ask like too many probing questions because you're just kind of getting to know each other on the first date. So talking about some of the stuff to get to know each other, that's okay, but you don't want to get too personal. And to be strict, we shouldn't even be talking about past dates, like your exes, in the first date, technically speaking.
Yeah, because usually people ask like, oh, why did your last relationship end?
Yeah.
I've had that question asked me before, and I'm just like, why would you want to know? But yeah, I guess for them it's whether it's to get to know you as a person, maybe.
Yeah.
So I know some people also ask, so what are you looking for? Should they ask that?
What are you looking for? I think it's kind of borderline. So I think if you feel like there's quite a relatively stronger connection, you could ask. But if it's someone that you're not sure, that I would leave that till later when you're more sure.
Yeah. And should women or men mention that they have kids on the first date?
I think it's important to do that, because that's quite easily a big deal breaker for many girls. So if they only found out that you have kids like 3 months in, then you're basically lying to them, right? So I think it's important to mention.
Let's do one more.
And the next one, I guess, is about time, maybe. So like, you don't want to be late, and if you have to be late, you need to tell them before. And there's a bit of a rule, right? So when let's say you're going to be 10 minutes late, you need to double the time and tell them. So like, you tell them 20 minutes before that. So that's a little bit of a rule to think about. So you don't want to say like just on the dot, straight on the dot, that time you're supposed to meet, I'm going to be another half an hour. That's like rude. You want to give them the extra buffer, tell them in advance.
So I used to, right? This is like a few years ago. When I go on dates, sometimes, not that when I've been a lot, but if I did go on dates, I would sometimes purposely be late.
Oh.
Like 5-10 minutes late, because I wanted to. It was like a test. In my head, I was thinking, I want to see how they will react, and just for make them wait a little bit, so we can create, to make them create that kind of mysteriousness there.
Yeah.
However, then I stopped doing that because I thought, actually, you know what? It's kind of rude, and I don't think I would want someone to make me wait like that. So then I stopped doing that. Yeah.
So I think generally speaking, within sort of 10 to 15 minutes range is okay, is acceptable. But if someone is like late for half an hour, then that is quite easily a deal
Because
breaker.
one time I was someone was late, almost 20 minutes late, and
Oh, gosh.
I was close. I was about to leave, and he called me as I was actually. You know what? I was walking to my car, and he called me, and he goes, "Where are you?" I was like, "I'm walking to my car." He goes, "Oh, I'm just around the corner. Where are you?" So listen, so you're so lucky. I was just about to leave, and he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry."
Did you see him again?
So you know what? No. Well, he begged. He kind of begged for a second date.
Okay.
So I gave him another chance. But thing is, this is what happened. So it was very spontaneous, and this is actually just when lockdown had just after lockdown, when restaurants were open till 10 p.m. only, and
Okay.
you have to. No, you don't have to book. Yeah, just up to 10. They close at 10 p.m. But anyway,
Yeah.
so he literally just phoned me that day. Okay, shall we go out for dinner tonight? I'm like, okay, then cool. So he obviously didn't book anywhere, and yeah,
And he went.
yeah, and then we met up and he went to this restaurant. It's fully booked. Oh, and he was like, oh no. So when we were driving other places, in fact, it was around this area for a few other places until we got to a place. Finally, got to a place, to this shisha lounge place, and ordered our meals. Anyway, sat down. I was already bored.
Oh,
So I didn't. There was actually no chemistry with this guy. I was already bored. In my head, I already knew I'm not gonna have go on a second date with him. But I told him after that day. I said to him, "Listen, I actually I'm not feeling you. I don't feel there's any chemistry." And he goes, "Oh, that's not fair though. Because it was spontaneous. I didn't have time to plan it. So yeah, I couldn't show you the best side of me. Blah blah blah. Like, just give me another chance. Blah blah." So I was like, okay, fine. I give him another chance.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, and this time he invited me round to his place, and he said he'll cook for me.
And you went.
Yeah, I went. Okay, fine, and he cooked. And I purposely went there an hour late.
Oh my God.
So I don't spend too much time. So I don't spend that long with him. So we had dinner, we were just talking, and then about 2 hours later, I kept looking at my phone. He goes, "Oh, do you need to go?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got work tomorrow." He goes, "Oh, stay for a little bit longer." I was like, "No, I need to go now." Like that, and then he walked me to my car. Yeah, and then I told him, "Yeah, I'm not interested." He goes, "Oh,
That's not fair.
yeah."
Again.
But I said to him, "But I told you I'm not interested already. But you wanted me. You insisted on giving me another chance. I gave you another chance." And yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, we can't change the past, but
Yeah.
if you already know you have no chemistry, then if you keep giving him another chance makes him think that there might be another chance.
Yeah, true. Maybe I
Right.
should have done that, but yeah, because
Yeah.
I thought, fine, you know what? I'm a bit of a softie. So if someone
I
keep
know what you
insisting,
mean.
persistent, I'm like,
same.
oh, okay,
But
fine.
you
like that.
kind of, it feels like you're, imagine if someone does that to you, right? They already know they don't like you, but they give you another chance and they said, well, I already know I don't like you. You begged for it. How would you feel?
Oh, yeah, and I feel bad. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I wouldn't beg for someone that second chance. Like,
Yeah, of course we won't. But yeah, we've all been there, so.
Yeah. Okay, final question. Now, so I'm a self-love coach, and which means I teach a lot about self-love and things like that, right? And people say, "Oh, I'm a self-love coach." Self-love expert. Now, I do admit sometimes I'm actually really open about this. I don't always have my shit together. I don't always have it all figured it out. And sometimes, I do find myself that maybe I lack self-compassion, and there are days where I'm stressed out, but I know for a fact that I should really take my own advice as well. So, are there days where you slip?
In terms of self-love or
No,
etiquette?
etiquette. Sorry, in terms of etiquette.
Of course. Well, I know all the rules, but we say in etiquette world, you have to know them to break them, right?
Yeah, okay.
So I'm not gonna eat soup, like scoop away from me, like most of the time if I'm eating soup at
So
home.
how you?
That's right, yeah.
You what? Western or
Soup.
Chinese?
Western. You scoop away from you.
Oh,
So like when I'm just eating alone at home,
Yeah.
I don't have to scoop every spoon of soup away
Do you
from me.
slurp it as well at home?
No, I wouldn't slurp. There's certain things I would just never do. Even if I'm at home
I guess it's
alone,
not
I
natural
would
to
still
you.
chew with
Yeah.
mouth closed. I would not swear. I would still,
Yeah.
dress like pretty decently at home as well. I think that's just who I am.
Yeah.
But at the same time, of course, we all have days that we don't feel like it as much. But the important thing here is to know how to get out of it. Have a control system. Know how
Be mindful,
to
yeah.
not let yourself stay there for too long. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because the reason why I chose to do this is because this is just who I am, right? If I show you how to do this and I turn around and become a different person not doing it, then I'm kind of I don't have integrity then if I do that, right?
That's
So
true.
so this is just who I am. So
I guess it's kind of different, to be honest. Etiquette coaching, self-love is quite different, as in, because sometimes it's more of a mindset thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anything else I haven't mentioned that you would like to talk about?
So is it the time for me to ask you questions?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Go on. Oh yeah. Go on.
Okay, so what are some of the pet peeves for men when you go on a date with them?
What are they? What? Sorry.
Pet peeves, so things that if they do, you're like, oh gosh, no, I'm not going to see them again.
Oh, okay. If someone goes to me, do you want to go 50-50?
Oh god.
And for me, there's a reason why. Okay, like, let's hear me out. Why it's a kind of deal breaker, because, like I said earlier, it's not showing the masculinity, and also because if you're already that sort of like calculating, this is your part, this is my part. If we are supposed to be together, I don't feel that unity. There's a separation.
course,
Do you know what I mean? For me, a relationship is what's mine is yours, sort of thing. Like, basically united.
Like Danny said, right? Can you go 50-50 when I am pregnant for 10 months? When I give birth, go through the pain, can you go 50-50?
Yeah.
If you can, then maybe we should, but we can't.
Yeah. So that's one of them. If they talk too much about themselves.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. And if you ask me a question and I start answering your question, I'm talking about myself or something, because you asked me a question about myself, and you're not really there, you're sort of like wondering, then that's a no for
understand.
me. And always on your phone.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think that's about.
There are many things that men should do on a first date, right? They should even order the food for you as well.
What do you mean?
So you would discuss once you have the menu together, and then they'll be like, so what would you like to have? You can say, oh, okay, I'm having the salmon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then when the waiter comes, they have to order for you.
Yeah, you know what? I like that's not a deal breaker, but I like that. It is nice, so like little things.
Many
like
things,
that,
like I said, dating etiquette could be a book. It's a lot of details there, and we're only talking about first date. What about the days after that, right? So
I've got a question for you. Should they have sex on a first date?
Oh, that's off the limit for the etiquette coach.
Is that not part of it?
What do you think?
Personally, I think it depends on the chemistry you have with that person.
Okay, my answer might shock you.
Go on then.
I think in the first day you shouldn't even hold hands, even if there's crazy chemistry. Okay. Not even holding hands till like fourth date or something.
Yeah,
that's just me.
Okay. So, and if they hold hands, should the man initiate it? Would you like?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty traditional, old school. So women should not initiate any of that.
Yeah. That being said, about having the sex though, but I know some people have a 90-day rule, but I just don't like. Although I've actually never had sex on the first date, but I just don't judge people. I just think like in the
of
moment,
course, everyone's different, right?
And but I just think even if you do, it doesn't mean that you're bad or anything like that.
No, of course, I agree.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean it's bad. It's just, if you ask my view, who is like on the other spectrum of being traditional and old school, then of course it's a huge no.
So is etiquette also being about the traditional then?
I think it goes hand in hand, because a lot of these etiquette rules, they came from ancient times, and they're here for a reason. They were there for a reason. Of course, some of them maybe not as relevant, but a lot of them should still kind of have a place in the modern society.
Should men also pull the chair out for the women?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, actually, in my class, I do teach women what to do when a man pull the chair out for you in a restaurant, because a lot of people don't know how to, like when to say, what to do, whatever. They get a bit lost.
And another thing, actually, I do have a question. So I say this. So because a lot of today's society we're all in a rush all the time.
Yeah.
So even women are always like in a rush. So when they're on a date now, and obviously they're walking towards the restaurant, some women, they was rush to the door straight away. And not allow the man to open the door. So I have said to my clients before, I said, look, just slow down. When you're in a day, slow down, be present. And when you're coming closer to the door, slow down and actually even maybe let him walk in front of you, let him walk, like let you slow down so he can walk in front of you, and when he comes to the door you can just stand there.
Oh my gosh, do they really do that in terms of the ladies will rush to the door before the men?
Because I used to do that. I used to be like,
really?
I'm in a rush. I'll be like, oh, quickly just quickly go to the door and open it up like that.
No.
Yeah.
If you ask me, I'll just be walking very slowly and just wait for the men.
No, but
to
it's because in today's society, because we're always in a rush. A lot of people are like this.
Yeah.
Even like the clients that I had, that I coached about being feminine.
Yeah.
She said to me, I asked her, so how do you walk to the door? She was like, oh, I walk first to open the door. I was like, no, you slow down.
Yeah.
So this is the old me would be rushing. Now
Yeah.
I'll slow down. I'll tell you a funny story actually. So, I was dating this guy. We was actually seeing each other for a few months. But anyway, one time we were going out, ordered an Uber, and I'm so used to opening the car door myself. Okay, so anyway, so when the Uber came now, he moved straight away to go to get the car door.
Yeah.
But in my head, I was like, oh, let me also get in the car quickly. So what did I do? As he was walking to the nearest car door, I ran around him to the back of the car, to the other side to open the car door, and went and got in. And when we got in, he was like to me, oh, I was trying to be a gentleman. I was being a gentleman earlier to open the car door for you, but you got in yourself. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then I felt so embarrassed after that. But yeah, that was
Yeah, see, that's what etiquette will give you power, right?
Yeah.
Because you know what to do in those situations.
Yeah.
You will avoid all of that.
Yeah. So now that was like a few years ago. But now, like after that, I learned my lesson. Like, you know what, Celia, slow down and allow him to take care of you.
And I think that's another difference between femininity and masculinity. Because femininity should be kind of slow and controlled.
Yeah.
Even when I tell some of my clients when they take some stuff, they don't just take and like be very quick. It's like slow move and controlled movement.
Yeah.
The fact that you're rushing into things, that's just not a feminine thing to do.
Is your mum very feminine as well?
The
The reason I'm asking this, right, is because growing up, to be honest with you, the reason why sometimes I'm the way I am, I used to be anyway. I'm a lot better now, more in my feminine. But back then it's because my dad, growing up, used to be like, hurry up and do things quickly because time is money, time is money. If I don't do things quickly, basically I'm stupid.
Yeah.
So growing up, he got me and my brother thinking we have to do things quickly, have to think quick, be witty, things like that.
Yeah.
And so that's what I mean.
Yeah, the reality is unfortunately not very much. So my mum worked for a bank and she had a quite senior position and she was always out working, and she's like, you know, she doesn't dress as feminine, and she didn't really have that much time for me, and she's very strict with me, you know, like this, like Asian parents, typical. And she was forcing me to do piano, so all the things that she do is not really that feminine. So maybe that's the reason why I kind of craving for that in me, trying to make up for that lost femininity from my mum, I guess. But yeah, she's an amazing mum, by the way.
I got a bit of both because my mum's very girly.
Yeah.
So growing up seeing my mum like very girly, was dressing up. So I grew up loved like doing my hair, like curling my hair, things. Loved the earrings, dressing up, things like that. And yes,
I'm the opposite actually. I used to look like a boy. Can you imagine?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I had short hair for like the first sort of 18 years of my life.
How short?
Really short.
Like boy short?
Not boy short, but like super short.
Really?
Because you know why? Because my mum said, like, if you have long hair, then you can't focus on your studies. Boys be looking at you, and it takes longer to wash, to style, whatever. So I just I wear trainers and t-shirts, short hair. So like, I went through a huge transformation. Like, you wouldn't recognize me.
For me, I was opposite. I was like opposite of you, basically. I've always had long hair because my mum is, like I said, my mum's very girly, so she used to dress me up like a doll, basically. She always make sure my hair was always long. My hair was up to down to my waist.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really long. And then she would be, if I was to go to nursery play group or something like that, like she would always like maybe braid my hair, plait my hair, do different things, buy different hair accessories, buy lots of nice dresses for me. So when I remember going to nursery, the teachers to be like, oh, I like your dress. You always have nice dresses. So my mum, so I guess that part, that's why I'm girly. in sense
Yeah.
of that. But when I say girly, I'm also a bit of a tomboy, meaning when I was growing up, I also was a bit tomboy, as in I like hip hop. So I'm like urban, like
Yeah.
the urban style. So like, do you know who Aaliyah is?
No.
Okay. Do you know who Sierra is?
I don't know.
Okay.
Remember, without the surname, it's hard
Okay.
to.
So basically, like the way they dress, like basically, it could be tracksuit bottom, baggy trousers, but crop top. So basically, like kind of boyish, but
That's
still
not your
sexy.
style.
Yeah. So that was growing up. That's
I
my style
see,
like
I
that. So
see.
like I'm tomboyish, but I'm still quite girly
I
in
see, I
sense like that.
see.
Yeah.
That's cool. It suits you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I can't imagine me wearing those, but
Okay. Thank you so much.
my pleasure.
I loved it. It was
Thank
such
you.
a good conversation.
Thank you. I loved it as well. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for having me.
Thank you. How can people find you?
Oh yeah, of course. So I'm on Instagram and TikTok. I've been posting about short educational video for etiquette for about 2 years. Cross-platform, I think I have about 200,000 followers at the moment. So you can find me Ziying Zhu, so ZIYING ZHOU. And then I recently started my YouTube channel. Only just posted one video 3 days ago, so I'm gonna keep posting more about it. So feel free to join me and learn more about etiquette.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you like this, I'm sure you liked it because I loved it. Make sure you like it, share it, and also, if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram, Spotify, and whatever channel platform you're listening to, and give me a 5-star rating because that will help me grow my channel. And yeah, see you at the next episode. Love you guys.